Yeah, Lightning Volt, and 2 times damage starter version, which gives me a lot of power to work with. One might even say. That's enough of that. These may be meme runs, but this isn't that kind of channel. Upsides, good damage, good range. Downsides, can't move while using it, takes a little bit of a wind-up time to start doing damage, and using it for too long, and look for it to turn red, will instead hurt you. Somehow that last bit never came up in this run. The only time I was damaged by the weapon was when I purposely held it out too long to see if they just removed that part. Additionally, enemies are inflicted with the standard elemental debuff you expect from lightning weapon. Nice to have a little extra damage, but in reality this means that other enemies are getting aggroed before they even see me. Not that it's a problem with this sort of firepower. Lightning power? This sort of mega wattage. Yeah, okay, sure. It is that sort of run. I took the point blank mutation with the idea that most enemies would be running right up to me, but nope. Everything is dying before they even get a chance to react. Yeah, 2 times damage, but I expect to at least be getting use out of that strategy with Gold Gorgers. Nope, not even getting to their 3rd form before they explode into a golden confetti shower. First hit I've taken in the run. I really thought I could take out those 3 enemies in the half second it'll take them to tear me in half. It does show that this is a glass Tesla coil run. I'm working with a real harsh risk-reward dynamic. I was a little worried going into the corrupted prison because those toxic miasma have a great teleport then explode combo and usually have the health to do it a couple times. Well, much like the Gold Gorgers, they are still not a problem. I'm even exploding elite miasmas before they can finish attacking, which is unnecessarily risky on my part. You know, I often forget that every enemy, even stuff like toxic miasma that appear to be blobs of goop, explode into a smear of blood and gore on death. It's the Binding of Isaac principle. You get so focused on the gameplay, you don't even think about, oh yeah, I am crying bloody tears at a poop right now. People always focus on bloody tears in the Castlevania 2 soundtrack, when Monster Dance is also a great tune that deserves more respect. I ran out of stuff to say about this biome. The logical continuation of my hubris, Dracula's Castle. And in an even more questionable move, I switched out the 2 times damage for a regular version. Yet, still working fine. I'm thinking that this weapon is designed to be especially effective, even with no other skills to buff it up, because it has so many downsides. Wind up time, no moving, the whole self-damage bit. It's a weapon that is sort of, but not really in a class that I like to call skill weapons. These are weapons that are powerful, not because they're fulfilling some sort of condition, enemies on fire, poisoned, enemy is an elite, less than 50% health, but because you, the player, are doing something. Usually this is a timing thing, think the Nerves Bow, or distance. Whip is a good example. But for the Lightning Bolt, it seems like don't hurt yourself by using it too long is the reasoning they gave to buff up the weapon. It is telling that at one point in the history of the game, they did have it scaling with survival. Regardless, it's a really easy condition to fulfill, so that power boost is, for me, a completely free bonus. Death is a risky boss to go up against, even when you have a build that doesn't have you dying in 2 hits. So the plan here was, hey, I'm gonna try and kill him before he can do too many attacks, which is not going too bad. And, well, the other issue is the mini sides, which, yeah, if they just kind of go below the ground like that, something of a problem. Or appear on top of you, also something of a problem. No, stop that. Although, I swear, this weapon has a higher chance than most to be 2 times damage. Almost every shop I went to had a 2 times damage after a reroll or 2, and sometimes multiple at once. Not that I'm complaining, it's just, where was that when I was doing the toothpick run? Can survival weapons not get 2 times damage? If so, that's a mechanic that I was completely unaware of. Now, do I necessarily need this much damage when I'm already killing enemies in seconds? Probably not, but it will come in handy against bosses. As for the extra damage taken, that's why one-shot prevention exists. Concierge! I am not going to die to random spawns this time. Not to say that the Concierge can't put you in some unfair positions, but it's not quite the same thing as having the mini sides appear on top of you, right? Oh, also it's done. It's done already. Whoa. Lamau. Don't need a potion charge this time, against all odds, so I went Sanctuary. I'm not sure how many more times I can say, and then I blasted everything with lightning like... Okay, rule of threes, I'm done now. Done. Traps are still a concern. Can't blast a ball and chain or spikes with lightning, even though that would definitely work. Just melt them right down. No idea why they never added deconstructing dungeon traps to feel some sort of crafting system for the game. Hey, it would have been a great fit, right? No damage in this area at all, by the way. I really thought about going for the giant, but I'm not sure if the bolt would hit the hands while I was on the ground. I'm pretty sure it does, and even if it didn't, I'd still probably be okay with the DPS I'm pulling out here. But better safe than lose a run with 4 times damage affix. Those don't come around every day, you know. Well, that's not that bad. I was expecting all of my health, not just 80%. Now that's more like it. Those box elites are the worst for that exact reason. I had a run fail earlier trying to get back up to this point because the distance of this weapon lines up perfectly with the distance the box goes out. And here we see that I don't even need to be targeting the elite to still be hit by it. You'd think I would learn to watch out for that, but with this sort of firepower, I don't need to learn anything. Because I opted not to fight the giant, every other boss is going to be fast with a lot of projectiles. Well, I mean, even if I did fight the giant, there would be a lot of projectiles. There's no good tier 2 boss for a build like Lamau. Dracula's castle again, because I told you I don't need to learn anything. Most interesting bit in this area was the Medusa fight, where headed into the Morass for this 3rd run, despite knowing those blowgunners would be a problem with a tactics build and 2 times damage again. I told you it was common affix for the bolt. Yes, I did give up on going Castlevania for this one. I do like doing different routes, but not if it stretches out the production of these videos for 2 weeks. So, the blowgunners. Enemies that have an easy time hitting you at a distance while perching from places where hitting them can be a problem. Dead Cells is always a game where you need to be paying attention to everything around you, and I was looking extra hard on this one. Thankfully, I was able to get out okay and didn't have to start a 4th run yet. Although I wasn't able to get that cursed chest. I actually didn't have 10 enemies to kill before moving on to the boss, so I skipped it. Hey, when that happens. Boss that stays entirely in water and is weakest when you're at a distance? Oh yeah, Mama Tick is a good matchup for the lightning bolt. Now, unfortunately, that does still mean that I need to deal with this phase, which I don't have the ability to just lightning blast my way through. And as you can see, do take a good amount of damage. So that's why I decided for once to actually use the tactic where you just run against the wall and then dodge like that. I know it's the best way to do this fight, but also at the same time, I don't know, I feel like it's kind of a boring way to do it. Sticking in the middle and trying to dodge around the claws proper is a little bit more to that. Not quite as much of a lol Lamau on this one. Those royal guards. Very good at not dying the instant I see them, which threw me off guard. Royal off guard. Losing 2 potion charges at the beginning aside, simple enough castle, not too much to talk about. So, I guess I'll say, Mama Tick was an obvious showcase of the weapon, and it did get me thinking that maybe I should just use the training area to go up against all the alternate bosses as part of a non-canon showcase of the weapon. That said, I don't know if anyone particularly cares about seeing all the bosses. I imagine that the sort of person watching this is less, he's doing the collector again? How boring. And more, oh sweet, something to watch while I'm doing my cardio. On that point, I know you're tired. We only got 5 more minutes to go, so come on, you can do it. It's no Dracula, but you'll do Hand of the King. And yeah, it's pretty quick into the episode to be fighting the Hand of the King, but that's just also true for the run. It's a real feast or famine type of weapon where, yeah, if everything's going great, then it's really easy and fast, and nothing really much to say about each of the biomes until you get hit once, and then it's really easy and fast to also die, as you've seen already. So, it's a good weapon, certainly, but it's also one that puts you at a lot of risk. Not too much to say about the Astrolab. It's much like the castle, very simple run through. It would have been funny to see the run end to getting hit by a defender, but nope, got through it mostly unscathed. Though I will say that if I did get killed this late into the run, I was not going to be starting another one. Not after 3 attempts now. Okay, old collect 'em ups. This is still a marathon boss fight regardless of how much damage you're doing. Because of course I have been able to take out this first health bar entirely. It just doesn't matter. You're still gonna go through all the phases regardless. So it just comes down to who is, well, how quickly am I going to be hit? And will I have disengagement up at that time? Because I mean, there's already 2 phases done. Now, come on, just a little bit more. Yeah, it is nice to be skipping through this quickly. And of course, with this weapon, don't need to worry about stuff like hitting the thorny back and whatnot, so just goes that much faster. I was even thinking, hey, this is going well enough that I might be able to do a hitless run. It's just, it depends. Don't like that attack. That's one that will take me down to 0% health. And then the same thing, that's really hard to kind of deal with. Nah, the only one that I think that I don't have down on lock is the one where he does this. Come on, come on. I know how to dodge it, and yet I screw it up all the time anyway. I didn't think he was going to go for one extra one there. Doesn't matter, though. We are done. Unless... Okay. I was fully committed to finishing up the fight right there. If he actually did do the stab attack, that was it. That would have been done. And I was not going to be doing another run. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah. Simple run, still a hard run. It's just, you die so quickly. So extremely quickly. And I'm really weighing right now, do I want to put that clip at the end? You know what? No, I said this isn't that sort of channel, and I'm going to stick to that.